Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Contracting Business Basics. I'm your host, Lori Rawlings, the Executive Director of the Plumbing and Mechanical Contractors Association of Oregon, Southwestern Washington, and Northern California. And today we are going to be doing learning module number 9, in which we're talking about key suppliers and subcontractors. So welcome back, our instructor, Hank Brancasio.
Thanks, Lori. Glad to be back. So today we're going to talk about key suppliers and subcontractors. Probably the one thing that many people coming through the trades would understand reasonably well. So these are your subcontractors. These are the people you buy material from, you buy equipment from. Maybe it's people you rent machinery from. We want to talk a little bit about this because they do help you in your business if you get the right ones. So some objectives today: identify those vendors who can help you succeed. I think that's important. It's not about having vendors and subcontractors that complete work. It's people that can help you succeed. That's important because that's what it all has to be about. Just because you hired somebody to provide you some equipment or material or do some work for you, are they helping you succeed? Are they making you a better contractor? Better understand what makes a good vendor. We're going to talk about that, or partner. That's a great way to look at it. Instead of just looking at it as, oh, just a vendor, it's a partner. How to build a relationship with vendors and understanding financial terms and conditions in vendor agreements. I'm going to help everybody understand the difference between writing a purchase order and writing a subcontract. And the way we're going to do this is, if I'm cutting somebody a purchase order, a supplier, there's no labor involved. So I'm buying a pump, no labor. I'm just buying a pump. I'm buying valves. I'm buying pipe. I'm buying equipment. I'm buying hangers. I'm buying installation material, buying piping material. I'm buying tools, or I'm renting a tool or renting a piece of equipment. All of these items on the screen have no labor associated with them. That would be a purchase order. Now, I know some people look at it, oh, what's the difference? I cut them a PO or I cut them a subcontract. Well, it makes a difference when it comes to terms and conditions. It makes a difference if a problem occurs on the project. And again, stuff happens. And so you want to be sure that you understand, when do I write them a purchase order or when do I write a subcontract? Subcontracts, now labor's provided. A little bit more riskier. So insulators, labor. Temperature controls, labor. I hire somebody to provide a crane for a lift, labor. External trades, I'm hiring a sheet metal contractor, I'm hiring an electrician, I'm hiring a GC. All of these involve labor. You want to write a subcontract. Again, why is that important? Because now there's labor on a job and your terms and conditions will address the labor on the project. In lieu of, I'm going to go back a slide, in lieu of a purchase order, there is no labor. Your terms and conditions might be a little bit different in this as you come up with a standard form for your company. How to choose the right people. Again, if you look at them as your partner, it's a little bit different than if you look at them as a subcontractor or a vendor. Or they're just a vendor. Well, are they your partner? So I'm going to kind of do this screen left to right, right to wrong. So the right way is timing the bids and quotes versus bids that come in late. Now, this seems like a pretty simplistic way to look at it, but you'd be surprised how many times people don't get your bids. You know, the bid is due at 2 o'clock. You're bidding at 2 o'clock, or maybe you've got a bid a general and a general wants his bid 30 minutes or an hour before he has to turn in their bid. And you're still waiting on vendors and subcontracts to get your price right up until the last minute. What a pain in the ass. Excuse my French. But the fact of the matter is, am I getting it on time? Are they nickel and diming me, or are they always looking for change orders? So it's you know, I get a price from a subcontractor, doesn't matter what it is, it's for $10,000. I'm getting to the end of the job, and whatever reason, he has cost one over a little bit. And he says to you, look, I'm sending you a change order for $500. And you go like, or $300. You're like, wait a minute, I use you all the time on all my projects. Okay, I understand there was a little glitch, but you're sending me a change order for $300? Like, give me a break. I wrote you an order for $10,000. So I think That's what I mean when I say nickel and diming. I mean, it's just kind of, you don't want to get into that situation. Competitive pricing, well, that goes without saying. They've got to be competitive. It's great that you've got a vendor that's supplying material or equipment or a subcontractor, and they do a great job for you, but they're always 25% higher than everybody else that's giving you a price. That's not competitive pricing. Okay, once in a while, I understand they may not be competitive, but the expectation is they're always plus or minus 5% of what everybody else is bidding in the marketplace. Quality work. Do they do quality work or don't they do quality work? I don't care how cheap they are. If every job they're on or 80% of the jobs they're on, you're like, oh my God, this came out like crap. I got customers complaining about it. That doesn't help your business at all. And it's a reflection on your business. If you're starting a mechanical contracting business, a plumbing business, and the people you hire do sloppy work, I guarantee you the customer will remember you much more than they'll remember that subcontractor on a project. Okay, here's where the partnership comes in. Can they offer value engineering ideas? Can they say to you, look, I know what the specification called for. I know what you wanted me to provide, and I can provide that. And it costs X amount of dollars. But I got a better idea. How about if we do this? And that could really save you some money, or it provides the end user a better system. That's the kind of stuff you're wanting, not here's the price. I don't have any VE ideas. Here's the price. You know, it's $15,000 for something, and I'm not getting any other feedback. So you want proactiveness to offer you from a value engineering standpoint. We'll work with you on a payment term. So let's say you say to a customer or a vendor, well, you know, your normal payment terms are 30 days from when you send me the bill. But this customer that I'm working for, the end user, he's not going to pay me except for every 60 days. Would you be willing to take it every 60 days? Yeah, I would. So that's kind of a situation. Understand this much. This is where my experience working for Johnson Controls, I called on mechanical contractors. I called on general contractors. I had to sell my wares to mechanicals. So all of these things that are right are things I heard from mechanical contractors. Like, don't quote me the last minute, Hank. Provide me ideas for value engineering. Provide me a better way to do the job. Show me something I can bring to the customer that brings value to the customer. All of those things I heard from mechanical contractors. So this isn't stuff I'm like making up. So nothing annoyed me more when I ran a mechanical, when suppliers and vendors and subcontractors just like faxed over their price or emailed over their price, provided no value engineering. That kind of concerned me. And then people that you can't trust to get the job done. So that's important. And also people that they're not helping you, but they're helping your competitor. That's not going to help you win more work in the marketplace. Some standard subcontract and purchase order resource. So MCA has a manual that you can go to for standard things like PO standard forms, subcontract standard forms. I would encourage you to look at that. I would also encourage you to get your attorney involved when it comes to writing terms and conditions. When you're starting out, or if you purchase a business, and it's a bit, every project manager's got their own subcontract form, which I know that sounds odd, but it could be the case. Or you don't have a standard purchase order, or you're giving vendors a purchase order and you're giving subcontractors a purchase order as well. Get with your attorney and get this straightened out up front. Get some standard terms and conditions, some standard forms developed, so that every time you need to cut a purchase order or you need to write a subcontract, it's a standard form from Acme Mechanical or Acme Plumbing, and it's not, everyone is a little bit different. And don't modify the terms and conditions. Don't go like, oh, okay, well, we're going to cross this piece. Try to stay standard every time with all your different people that you're working with. Any questions, Lori?
I just want to point out, I mean, I think it's great that you keep mentioning the importance of treating your suppliers and subcontractors as partners in your business, because we We've talked again and again throughout this series about how mechanical contracting is a relationship business, and having a good relationship with the people who are helping you supply your materials, equipment, and subcontracted labor is just going to put you that much further ahead in terms of being successful.
I think people that are starting a business, coming out of the field or purchasing a business need to understand this is for all practical purposes, a touchy-feely business, but friends work with friends. And as time goes on, these subcontractors, these vendors that you're choosing to work with are your friends. And when you run into a jam on a project, which will happen, that jam could be a price issue. That jam could be, I need some logistical help on the job, meaning I need the equipment sooner than maybe what you originally said. I really need some value engineering to help get the job. When you develop a strong relationship with these subcontractors and vendors, and it's a good relationship, then you can always work through it from that standpoint versus it's very cut and dry. They sent me a number, I cut them an order, they're just a vendor. And I realize some people treat them like that, but they don't want to be treated like that. And you don't want to be treated as just the mechanical that's cutting me a purchase order and paying me from that standpoint.
Great material in this section here. I really appreciate it.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Lori.
Yeah, thank you, Hank. We look forward to seeing everybody in the next learning module.